Evening all. It's still a little bit daylighty. I'm a bit early, so I'm going to set this one to run around 8 o'clock, which is usually the time it takes me to get it all loaded up. Anyway, I've not been on for a couple of days. I've just needed to walk away from it for a couple of days because it does get a bit much. So, if you are interested in entering the draw for your very own deck of Lightseers Tarot by Chris Ann, you need to be subscribed and you need to put in the comments a suggestion for a name for this seahorse, which will be raffled at some point for Bluebellwood Children's Hospice. Thank you to my new subscribers for being here. Welcome one and all. Right. The February figures are in, which obviously won't get paid until the end of March. I've just had the payment for January, which has gone straight to Bluebellwood, which is £211 something. The February figures, I've forgotten now. I think it's about 250, so it's creeping up. So when that comes in at the end of March, Bluebellwood's going to get another 250 big ones, which is nice. And it's all down to your engagement, your support, you're hanging on and watching all the boring bits and sitting through the adverts and liking and commenting and subscribing and all the shares and everything. And I'm really grateful to you. Right, another thing I need to say is lots and lots of people have asked me to do a reading on about Aunt Middleton, and I've already done one. Look in my catalogue. I already did a reading on Aunt Middleton. I might revisit it at some point nearer the time during the mayoral elections. What I have put up is the energy of now, around about now. This reading is about whether or not the BBC will actually at some point lose their licence fee. And I'm sure you're all aware that in the light of this latest bollock that they've dropped over this documentary they've done about Gaza, where they've neglected to tell the audience that the boy in the documentary is actually the son of a Hamas official, and also neglected to translate what was being said accurately. This is just one in a long line in a way. And then there's the issue with Gary. My dad used to call him Gary Lineacre, sticking his two penneth in. I believe there's some sort of redress coming, and I can't remember the head of the BBC, Tim somebody or other. I don't really pay that much attention. I do not watch the BBC. I don't watch television, to be fair. I haven't done for some time. For reasons of I can't sit through a programme without seeing all the I just want to shout at the telly, basically, because the world's gone pigging nuts. So I just want to have a quick look and see what's happening with the BBC and see if the tarot will give us something. Right. I don't know whether it was the last tarot reading or the one before. I said something massive's coming. It's still on its way, and I believe that the shit is going to hit the fan in March, and by the end of April it will quieten down. What that means I don't know, but it's feeling quite oppressive. Now I don't know whether I'm doing this because we're on there's all sorts of shenanigans going up in the heavens with the planets and what have you that's never been seen before in anybody's lifetimes. So I don't know whether it's got something to do with that. I don't know, or whether it's just something that I've always believed, and that is that the light will always shine through. Truth will always outshine lies, and the righteous will always be the victor in the end. Whether or not we live to see it, I don't know. How long's a piece of string? So I've got, because I feel we need a little bit of healing energy. So on this stack of cards, I've got rose quartz and unikite. And on this stack, I've got 2 dollops of carnelian. root chakra for stability, grounding. This is to be, let's be in his heart, a little bit more heart centered. So I'm going to do a crystal spirit oracle, which is what these are, by Colette Baron Reid. It might give us a suggestion for a crystal that we need, who knows. And I've also been asked about this here that I put my crystals on. This is a chunk of selenite. Selenite charges your crystals. So if you can't put your crystals, if you have them under the moonlight during a full moon, you can put them on a chunk of selenite. So it just keeps my crystals charged. But when there is a full moon, I actually take them out. Apart from the ones that will dissolve in water, obviously I'll stick them in a waterproof box and stick them outside. So rambling on's over. Let's have a crystal spirit oracle. Let's have a look. What are you going to give us today, Spirit? Give us something that we need a bit of. And we're looking at the BBC. The BBC. Are they about to lose their licence fee? Are they going to have to go subscription based? I think if they have to go subscription based, I think they're going to find that they're going to struggle quite a lot. And then that way they might well adapt to fit the majority of the audience rather than I don't know. I think they're just serving themselves, just like all the other companies and businesses and governments and politicians. I think it's just a case of self-service. So, well, that's 3. So I'm not. Am I going to do 3? Right. Choose one out of the 3. Right. So when I do this and I put my hand over, I'm actually feeling with Reiki, and I'm feeling for the one that's the hottest. It's definitely that one. So this one, what we've got chrysocolla or chrysocolla. I don't have any of that. That's number 16. I'm not all up on the crystals and stuff, so don't expect me to know everything. I only know what I know, which is limited. So no one can, unless if you know everything about everything esoterical, then really good for you, because there's so much to learn and understand. Chrysocolla. Speaking your truth, heartfelt communication, and right speech. Right speech. Right speech. That's one of the Buddhist philosophies, right speech, right action, all that kind of thing, mindfulness and all that. So I'm going to, so I'm just going to look at the message for that. We often remain silent because we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or be embarrassed. But Chrysocola's spirit has appeared to tell you that now is not a time to hold back your truth. Practice right speech, expressing yourself in a loving and honourable way as you discuss your business and financial dealings. Speak up for what you need and desire, and what you are thinking and perceiving when it comes to the flow of money and your own desire to experience prosperity. You will be heard today. At the same time, recognize that any truths you hear from others that are their truths and have value for right, I'm going to read that again. At the same time, recognize that any truths that you hear from others are their truths and have value for all. Listen carefully, setting aside any defensiveness and rolling into the heart of what others are saying. You can learn much today if you are willing, much that will help you in your quest to have a firm financial foundation. So that's very interesting, isn't it? So this is a lesson in right speech, speaking the truth as you see it. And when someone else is saying something to you that you do not agree with, if we don't rise to the bait, and there's a lot of people out there that won't have anybody else's opinion at all. They will not have anybody else's opinion. I can definitely think of one knighted individual who resides in a very prominent household in the UK, who is holding the reins right now. Sir Keir Rodney Starmer. He doesn't like to hear truth that he doesn't agree with, does he? But that doesn't mean that we all have to be triggered every time somebody comes out with what we believe to be nonsense. So that's a good lesson for today. So the lesson for today, don't be afraid to open your gob, but don't fly off the handle at anybody who says something you don't agree with. Good lesson. Here ended the lesson. Amen. Right, BBC. The BBC. Is the BBC going to lose its licence fee? Is it time the BBC modernised and produced programmes that are for all and not just one particular, straight away, not just one particular viewpoint? I mean, I used to watch Question Time, and the other week I was watching. I thought I'll have a look at Question Time and see if they've good balance of opinions and everything. And the audience is clearly being handpicked for a particular viewpoint. It's like shutting people down, right? So we've got the victory. We've got the Six of Wands victory. We've got the Sun success. We've got the Three of Wands, plans have been made. And then we've got the Ten of Swords, betrayal. So what does that mean exactly? So we've got this past situation where the BBC has been hailed as all-conquering, the best broadcaster in the world, broadcasts all around the world, the BBC World Service and all that. Very much looked up to, very successful on the back of British taxpayers' money. There's always some programme that everybody wanted to watch. I think there was the last programme I watched, and I'm sure it was BBC One, was Killing Eve. Killing Eve. That was an amazing series, amazing drama, and I would watch that again. So yeah, they've had some fabulous success. They've been very victorious in their broadcasting. And when I was a kid, the BBC did some epic educational programs, fantastic history programs. That's starting to change because we've got, with the Three of Wands, this turning away from the way that they used to do it. There's this turning away, plans being made for something else, and they are hurtling towards the end of the BBC as we know it. This is a betrayal of some sort. This feels like betrayal. I mean, there's this light in the back. We've got the darkness here, but on the horizon, we've got sort of the dawning of a new day. So there's some sort of betrayal which will end them. It is going to end them, the BBC as we know it, but they are going to reinvent themselves. The sun is going to come up again on the BBC. But whether that means that they're going to have to change tack and do away with the licence fee, I don't know. Because have they not just put it up? Right, Eight of Swords. The Fool. One more, please, for this line. One more for this row. And the Moon. Right. So with these two, we've got this very, very successful, God, I can't really speak, this really, really successful company always been successful. Everything they do has been got these high accolades everywhere, recognition for effort and all that. And then lingering over the top of that, when things start to change, is they've lost direction. They don't know where they're going. They've lost sight of where they're going, blindfolded. They're tied up in a particular philosophy. Swords are about the mind, philosophy, intellect, strategy. They've got no. They've lost the way. Basically, this is someone who's literally lost the way. Feels like there's no way out of the situation they're in. It's like they can't change their mind. They can't do something different. They can't step out of a particular mindset. So this is what's led to this. What's led to the BBC having been put in the front and centre to the news at the moment, because all the bloody shitstorms of all the things that they've been saying and all that kind of thing is all down to a mindset. And that mindset has trapped the BBC in a particular niche that they can't see the way clear out of. And that's what's caused this particular downfall with the BBC. It's been a mindset. It's been going on for a long time. They don't think that they can get out of it. So they continue along this downward spiral. But then you've got the Sun with the Three of Wands and the Fool. So you've got someone here. I think this director, or whatever he's called, the leader, the head of BBC, I think he's going to lose his job. And the reason why I say that is we've got this death, this ending card with the Fool, which is a new beginning. But the Fool is looking at the success and away from this planned the planning of the BBC and what they're doing at the moment. The Fool is looking at the success, the happiness, the sort of the accolades of the BBC. And I think this is a new person coming in to go back to what the BBC used to be: impartial, educational. BBC used to be awesome. I can remember watching Sky at Night with Patrick Moore and all that kind of thing. I know it's years ago, but it was far more, they were far more clever programmes than they are now. They're not clever anymore. They just talk about victimhood and all that. It's boring. I'm sorry, but it's boring. It is to me anyway, in my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. So I think there's somebody new coming in. Definitely somebody new coming in. And this ending feels like, so these plans haven't worked and it leads to an ending. But I think it's going to uncover some fishy business. I think it's going to, we've already had plenty of fishy business with the BBC. We've had the Savile and the Rolf Harris and the Hugh, what's his face, Edwards and all that. But that's not the end of it. Don't think that's the end of it. It really isn't. There's more to be uncovered. There's much more to be uncovered. There's some really shocking, this goes back a long way, and you'll find that there is some digging to be done. You've got the Fool and you've got the Moon and you've got the Sun. So you've got light being shone, success, accolades, this unable to get out of a particular mindset, which leads to the end of the BBC and some of the people that work in it. The uncovering, there's some secrets being desperately trying to be hidden here with the BBC. Is that going to come out though? That's the thing. There's other stuff going on in the background with the BBC, and it's going to come up because there's lots of people that have had enough and they really want them gone. Then we've got the Nine of Cups, and we've got the Chariot. So we've got this mindset, this new person coming in to looking at this mindset, this ideology of the BBC as it is, looking to change it. And they will change it. It's going to take time. Just because I do a tarot reading tonight doesn't mean it's all going to come out tomorrow. This takes time. Keep your eyes peeled. listen out for stuff, because it comes out in drips. It comes out in drips. And then we've got the Nine of Cups. And then with the Fool and the Moon, we've got the Fools. This new person is not interested in the secrets. They're interested in moving forward. But as a consequence, the secrets are going to drive this new person, new personnel, to completely move away from the BBC as has been over the last few years. It's stagnant right now. It's very stagnant right now. It's like, yeah, there's a lot to move on this BBC issue, because it feels like it's very deeply ingrained. So there's this person's a bit of a mover and a shaker. They're going to push the BBC forward, because it's been stagnant for too long. So what's our outcome then? Is the BBC going to lose its licence? Oh, is it going to lose its licence fee? The BBC is addicted to its licence fee, so they're going to try and cling on to it as much as they possibly can. They can step out of the mindset. They can go in a different direction. Whoever this person is who's being brought in to move the BBC forward is going to be met with a lot of resistance. A lot of resistance. Because the people who work there, or who are behind all the programming, they are addicted to the licence fee money. They're addicted to the title of being a BBC journalist or actor or whatever. It can be changed, but there's an addiction to this ideology. There's an addiction to this ideology, but this addiction to the ideology will be their downfall, because we have betrayal. We have an ending. They will be reinvented. But are they going to lose the licence fee? If the Five of Pentacles comes up now, I'll laugh my head off. Will the BBC lose their licence fee? Will the BBC lose the licence fee? Well, we've got the Two of Wands. So I think there's some planning in the making here. I think that they are working, there's already some work being done behind the scenes to change maybe the way the BBC collects money. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to lose the licence fee. This could also mean that they're going to put the fee up. And knowing Starmer and his crew, I wouldn't put it past him. Right, so there's plans afoot with this licence fee. And we've got the Hierophant in reverse. I want one more. Two of Wands, Hierophant in reverse. Knight of Swords. There's no judgment on this yet. There's no judgment on this yet. There's planning in the making. There's no particular way. There doesn't seem to be any way that it's going to go yet. But then this Knight of Swords is coming in. There seems to be someone or a group of people who are going to take really swift action. I think this is a lawsuit. I think this is a lawsuit coming up. So they're planning to change things, but in the meantime, this is a lawsuit. So if this is a lawsuit, this is legal action against the BBC. What's the potential outcome for the legal action? What's potential action? Jail. Someone's going to prison. Someone is going to prison. And it's linked to this. Some secrets. addiction, betrayal. Someone's going to jail. Now, I know there's no whisperings of anybody going to jail, but at some point in the future, someone's going to jail. And if that's someone is going to jail, is this going to bring down the BBC's, how BBC gets its money? They're very worried about it. There's a lot of very negative sword here. That is this is very negative. This is either jail or someone is going to maybe no longer be on this earth plane as a result of legal action being taken. Not being decided yet. There's a lot of secrets. There's a lot of dark energy in these cards. This feels like a cabal. Definitely feel there's a lot of dark energy here. I don't like it. These are all very dark. Notice there's all that, apart from the devil, they're all swords. Anxiety, being kept up at night. Death, illness, or rest, or jail. Death, betrayal, the end, the signalling a new beginning, reinventing yourself. Not knowing which way to go, stuck in a philosophy, stuck in a mindset. Addiction. So make of that what you want, but keep your ears open and your eyes peeled, because there's a lot of satanic shit going down where the BBC is concerned, and it threads all the way through. It goes back a long way, and it hasn't altered just because Jimmy Savile's gone. Let me just say that. Right, I'm going to go and wash myself in bleach after that reading. Right, I'm off, and I shall speak to you tomorrow. I will probably do the readings during the day tomorrow because I've got the house to myself, so I can shout and do things and not disturb anybody. Probably do the same thing on Sunday. So that's that. I feel a little bit uneasy about that BBC reading. Very uneasy. I'm going to wash my hands. I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Ta-ra!